Welcome to this month's Railway News with me. This month we have lots of stories such as the ORR releases a statement on the Jacobite getting cancelled, tornado passes its boiler test, a steam locomotive makes its first turn on its own steam, Severn Valley Railway Survival Fund passes £385,000 and much more. So make sure to like, subscribe and why not leave a comment below. Let's get started. First off, I had remembered that after the video was published that the first Class 93, which is 93001, was hauled by road from Portbury Docks by Reed Freight heading for Leicester for testing. At the time of recording, the Class 93 is past testing, so the next of the 29 of these locos should drive from Portbury to its new depot in Leicester. Next off, GBRF's Class 99 depot has been completed. Here's some aerial shots from Destination Trains Planes on YouTube. Make sure to check out his channel if you haven't already. After that, the first of the Class 43s have been taken from Lara in Plymouth. There's a mixture of places they are going to. Most of the rail movements are going to Ely Pappyworth sidings, and all so far operated by ROG Rail Operations Group on the rails. 1 power car has been moved and 7 coaches in total. The rest of the Class 43s are being transported by road by Alleys and Reed Freight brand low loaders. At the time of recording, the Freightliner Class 86s are being exported to Bulgaria to be used there. They are also hauled by Reed Freight and Alleys. Next up, Cross Country partners with Seatfrog. New data from Seatfrog suggests that 79% of passengers are missing their booked train, with 65 spending up to £100 to replace a single ticket. However, Seatfrog has now teamed up with Cross Country to allow passengers to change their ticket to a different train from just £10. Cross Country operates 240 services every weekday and sees around 42 million journeys each year. Is now the latest operator to join up with Seatfrog after Northern and East Midlands Railway partnered with the company. 2/3 of us buy advance tickets because they are the cheapest, but the lack of flexibility with these tickets means that they are either missing out on life, leaving dates, gigs and works events early, or are paying a hefty price for a new ticket. Add that to the frustration of queuing at a ticket office or ringing a customer service line to book a new ticket, and it's an easier way to see why passengers are being put off making important journeys via the railway. Next, ORR have released a statement on the Jacobite steam train cancellations. The Office of Rail and Road has released a statement regarding the issues of concerns found with the Jacobite steam train. Back on Friday the 9th of June 2023, a safety inspector visited the Jacobite service and found failings which were considered a breach of health and safety. The ORR issued West Coast Railways with a prohibition notice that came into effect on the 15th of June and prevented them running the Jacobite until the ORR was satisfied that the issues were rectified. Fast forward to the 14th of July and a further inspection found failings that breached the earlier prohibition notice and the conditions of West Coast Railways Safety Regulation Exemption Certificate. The exemption certificate is needed for operators who want to use carriages without central door lock-in. Due to safety issues, the ORR has revoked the exemption of the certificate for the Jacobite, but this means that West Coast can still use carriages without central lock-in on other services with the conditions of a new exemption certificate. The ORR says it's working with the West Coast to make sure that it ensures a robust safety arrangements are in place, which will allow the use of heritage carriages on the Jacobite in the near future. And in the meantime, West Coast can use alternative carriages to operate the Jacobite. The full statement from the ORR reads, a safety inspector from the Office and Rail and Road visited the Jacobite service run by West Coast Railways. On Friday the 9th of June, the inspection found failings which ORR considered breach health and safety legislation, and accordingly ORR issued West Coast Railways with a prohibition notice which came into effect at midnight on the 15th of June. which prevented it from running until West Coast was satisfied that they could rectify the issues raised in that notice. Next, time for 6 quickfire stories. Firstly, the Bluebell Railway's steam locomotive 30541 goes to Leaky Finders in Devon for a priority overhaul. Bluebell Railway withdrew the locomotive in December after having found it needed repairs to its boiler, tyres and tender tank. Secondly, an appeal has been launched for the restoration of steam locomotive 46443. A charity has been formed to resurrect the locomotive. The charity is called the SVR 46443 Fund and has been sat in the engine house since it's been withdrawn from service due to boiler issues. Thirdly, steam locomotive 60163 Tornado, which is an NNER A1, has passed its steam test. Tornado has been gently warmed since the weekend, and on Wednesday the 12th of July the boiler inspector arrived in Darlington and passed the boiler with no issues at all. Now Tornado needs cladding fitted before it moves to the locomotive maintenance services in Loughborough to be reunited with its frames. Next, steam locomotive 563 makes its first moves under its own steam. The T3 number 563 made its first moves under its own steam on the 12th of July at Flour Mill Workshops. The boiler has been signed off at 175 psi, which means the loco is one step closer to returning to working order. After that, we have a steam Russell locomotive off to Devon this September. The Linton and Barnstable Railway have announced that the Hunslet, named Russell, is due to visit them in their autumn steam gala in September. And lastly in the quickfire news is steam locomotive 7812 Earlstoke Manor is celebrated with a special train in Somerset. Earlier this month, the Earlstoke Manor Fund shareholders, supporters and suppliers were invited to 2 special trips on the West Somerset Railway to celebrate the return of the locomotive from the major overhaul. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe and why not leave a comment. I'll leave you on this. This is the Royal Duchy seen passing near Whirl on the 30th of July 2023.